What is up, YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about some Nintendo Switch games that are under $25 that are also physical. So if you like games, consoles, or product reviews, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. With that being said, let's hop into it. So it is 2020, the Nintendo Switch has been out since 2017, and there are a ton of games that you should have in your collection. But if you don't have a big collection, and also you don't have a bunch of money to spend, this video is going to be perfect for you. I am talking about physical games that are under $25 on the Nintendo Switch. Now, when I say under $25, I found the prices for these things cheaper, either new or used. So I'm gonna show you prices occasionally when I talk about the games, but I also want you to see kind of how the new price is different than the used. Sometimes some of these games are actually cheaper new than they are used, which is absolutely crazy. But with that being said, we're gonna roll right into this. The Nintendo Switch is a great system, and I want you to have more awesome games on it. So that's why I am being totally cheap when I talk about these games, $25 or less, and they have to be physical. What I plan to do is do a series of these because I have a ton of games that I want to talk about that are under $25 and are physical, so I figured I would bring that to your attention and let you know what you should pick up. So with that being said, let's talk about the first game that I have here, and that is Moura X. If you like shooters, this is totally an awesome game. This game looks really good on the Switch, and I will, however, say I played most of my time on the handheld portion just because I love this game. I wanted to take it around with me and have some fun. So Moura X is a game that is totally awesome. When I bought this game, I want to say I bought this for $19.99, but I'll show you those prices while we're talking about it. But this was such a great game. It looks great, it plays great. If you like shooters, this is a very fun one. It gets hard at some points, but I wouldn't say this is the hardest of the hardest shooters. But it is a physical game, it is cheap, and it's a ton of fun, and I think you will definitely enjoy it. So picking up Moura X is one thing that you should do if you have a Nintendo Switch, because who doesn't like to take a shooter on the go with them? I love the graphics on this. They're very cartoony and they look very well done. The music wraps in with that as well. It goes well with the backgrounds, goes well with what you're shooting, and this game is just a ton of fun. If you like hard shooters, this one's probably easy for you, but if you're a novice to shooters and you don't play them very much, this is going to be enough of a challenge that is well worth it, but still not too hard that you can't go past the first level. So definitely, if you're interested in Moura X, definitely go out and go pick it up. I love this game, and I'm so glad I got the physical copy. Back when I got it, it was harder to get. Now you can get these things any time of the day, really. So we're gonna move on right along here and talk about another shooter, but kind of in a different vein, and that is Wild Guns Unloaded. Now this was a game on the Super Nintendo. It was an arcade game, and it was a ton of fun. However, they brought it back to the Nintendo Switch, remastered it, and called it a Reloaded series, and gave it a lot more life. I think this was the easier version, and it was still a lot of fun to play, so I very much enjoyed this. Whenever this came out, I went out, bought it day one, and I played it and beat it day one. I think I might have even streamed it on the channel. I had fun with it, let's just say that. If you like Wild West shootout games, this is definitely one that you will want to pick up. You can play with new characters, new bosses, new stages, up to 4-player online. I actually didn't know that, so that's pretty awesome. I love this. I love when a Super Nintendo or a very old game gets a remake and you can get them for cheap. Because I think the copy of this, if you were to get the actual physical cartridge on the Super Nintendo, you would pay much more than the $25 I believe this is worth. I'll have the prices here, so I might be wrong there. If I remember correctly though, that is about $25. So this is a game that I think is well worth it because, one, you don't have to have a Super Nintendo if you don't have one, and you can take it on the go. That's a big thing for me. Whenever I'm talking about Switch games, going on the go is something that really matters. If you look back behind me here, there is actually a Nintendo Switch Lite, which I play the heck out of. I use that mostly for my portable system, and I love it. So this is a game you definitely need to check out. If you don't have it in your collection, you should be on the lookout for it, and you should add it to your collection. This next game is a ton of fun, but it is rated M, so be careful there. It has blood and gore, apparently drug references, and mature humor and strong language and violence. So be careful if you're younger than, 17? This game may not be for you, but I will say this game is a ton of fun, and it harkens to the old days, and that is Mutant Football League Dynasty Edition. This is such an awesome game. If you go back and think of the Sega Genesis game, which was Mutant League Football, this is pretty much what you would expect in the modern times. If you ever played NFL Blitz or any of those really arcadey football games, this is what you're gonna expect. This is so much fun. It's so outrageous. You can literally kill it on the field. You literally could kill someone and then someone else has to come in. Like, it's wild. It's a ton of fun. And I don't know why, but this game is really cheap, but it's still very, very fun. If you like to kick back and you want to play a football game, there's not many football games on the Nintendo Switch. So this is one that I definitely recommend. It's a ton of fun. It's a little out there. It's a little arcadey, totally arcadey. But it's still a ton of fun, and you will definitely enjoy it if you pick it up. Now, I do have some things that I was confused about when I first played this, but I figured that out and had no problem, so it's probably just me not understanding. But this all includes all the DLCs, all the teams and arenas, and so that's awesome. You get everything all at once. You don't have to pay more for it or anything, and I love when games do that. So this is a game that I think you should definitely pick up. If you're a sports fan, if you're a football fan, if you like just weird and wacky stuff, but you kind of like sports, but you're not serious enough to go out and buy the new Madden game, which is probably $60 still, go pick this up. Play it, have some fun, take it with you, destroy some humans, and just all around have a good time. This is totally a game that you should own. If you don't, you're missing out because it's a ton of fun. So I've got 2 more games on this video, and I've talked about both of these games before on the channel, but I thought since this was a first one, I should bring some heavy hitters right off the bat, and I wanted to talk about this. So Katamari Damacy Reroll, you know about it. It's an awesome game. You have probably either heard about it on this channel or some other way. If you haven't heard about it, you're missing out. This is a super fun game. Basically, you're the prince of the god of the universe. You have a big ball that you roll around and collect things that are smaller than the ball. The bigger the ball gets, the bigger things you can collect, and it just goes on and until you're trying to weave your way through the map or whatever you're trying to do to get to more things and get bigger and bigger. Sometimes you got a time limit, sometimes you have a size that you're trying to get. Whatever it is, this game is so much fun, and that theme song, it gets stuck in my head all the time when I'm playing this game. I usually have it stuck in my head for way too long. This is a game you need to pick up. Out of any of these, either this one or the next one are probably ones that you should have on your top list. But really, any of these games are fun because they're all under $25. You get a physical copy, you get a physical game, which mine's not in there, it's in my case. But Katamari, so much fun. If you played this when you were younger on the PlayStation 2, I definitely think you should pick it up again. It's so much fun, and I think playing it on the Switch just makes it a better way to enjoy it. So I definitely think you need to pick it up. And this last game is a game that I thought was underrated. And I say was underrated because it may not be as underrated as it was when it first came out. But this game came out and I was super stoked about it. I got it day one played it and had so much fun. I played it so much that I 100%ed it and played like 30 or 40 hours of it. And that is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Now, I will say, to begin with, the Rabbids are annoying, and oftentimes that is a turn-off when it comes to anything related to them, because they just babble and it's not anything interesting. But when you take that and you plug it in with Mario's Mushroom Kingdom, and you put in XCOM, you've got it making for a great game. Now, there are parts of it that are kind of weird and ridiculous. Like, there's a time where the Peach Rabbit actually takes selfies, and you're like, I don't know if anyone, especially in a Nintendo game, had ever, or at least a Nintendo licensed game, it's a Ubisoft game, has ever taken like a selfie. So I thought that was interesting. But like, everything about this game is so much fun. The strategy of it is a lot of fun. If you like strategy games, this is one you should pick up because it's family friendly and it's very interesting. Now, I will say that it looks really good. I loved the graphics that they decided to do when they took a normal character from the Mario world and put it in a Rabbid. Like, the Donkey Kong Rabbid was absolutely crazy and awesome. So I definitely thought this was a very great game. Now, there was some annoying things about the Rabbids, which you would expect the Rabbids, so be warned, you'll probably have a little bit of annoyances, but honestly, I don't think they take away from the game. I think the game is a solid game, and you will love it if you pick it up. And I definitely suggest that you pick it up because it's one of those games that looks so good and is so much fun, and it's so cheap. You can't pass up on this. A lot of people talk bad about this because of the Rabbids, but don't let that overshadow what Ubisoft was able to do with this game and how great it looks. So I think you definitely need to add this into your collection if you don't already. It's a Mario game on the Nintendo Switch with XCOM strategy. I think it's a no-brainer, honestly. Okay, so that is 5 games. I'm gonna do more of these going forward. I have a whole list of like 15 or 20 games I already want to talk about. I haven't got to them yet because obviously this is the first one, but I want to keep this series going, and I want you guys to know about games on the Nintendo Switch that are awesome, that are physical, and that are pretty cheap. So anything under 25, and I have it and play it and let you know what I think about it. Okay, so with that being said, I want to know what you think about this video. Please comment down below what games you want to see on this list, what games you saw on this list that you liked, and everything about the Nintendo Switch and about this video. Comment down below and let me know. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification because it lets you know when I post more videos, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and occasionally Monday, but that has not happened anytime soon, so stick to that 3 days and maybe you'll get a 4th one if you're lucky. I had a ton of fun thinking about this video because there's so many games that I've played, and so I made a huge list and I just started with the first 5, and I'm gonna keep going down it and let you guys know what games I think you should pick up. So with that being said, one last time, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you have a good day.